It's so nice to see some of you. I haven't seen some of y'all in a while. Not calling anybody out. It's just I know life has been crazy and it's summer and summer's always busy. So I'm excited for this one today because someone actually posted something in the prayer chat and I kind of felt like it was relatable. So I'll tell y'all a little bit about what happened yesterday, and then I'll kind of give y'all the backspin on it just to see how God works in crazy ways. So I don't know if y'all were on the team Zoom last night, but if you were, then Amber would, no, I'm sorry, not Team Zoom because I get them confused. Okay, this was the leader Zoom. So if you're not in the leader chat yet, which all of y'all are leaders in my eyes, but Amber Parker, which is someone amazing in this business, she's just truly incredible. She's probably one of my top like 3 influential people that I know in my life, and she's just incredible. And so anyway, she was talking about manifesting, and she was just like challenging people to manifest. And, I talk about manifesting all the time. If you're on my team, if you're new, I will teach you about it. It's just awesome. So she was talking about manifesting, and she brought up something, and she said, if you remember, she was talking about someone who had cancer, and she said that when they started manifesting, and obviously they did treatments as well, but then they started manifesting, they started believing that they're not taking defeat from cancer. And this actually hit really close to home because yesterday I was at my mom's best friend's house, and my mom's best friend's mom just found out she had esophageal cancer, and it's not good. They said that she only has several months to live, and she was over there yesterday, and the family, like, when I say it's probably one of the closest families that I know that are like tight, like they are always together all the time, like everybody's really distraught. And so the daughters were like, we're trying anything, like we're believing in any type of miracle to happen, but our mom isn't, like we're not having really much hope, we're trying to be realistic. And something in my mind just kept saying, I was like, they just, like, you just have to have hope. Like, that's all. I know I'm not in the situation, I know that I can't sit here and say that I can compare. I pray on everything that I don't ever have to go through that. But I was like just thinking in my mind. So I told her, I was like, I know that I can't sit here and say that I can, relate, but all I know is that you just have to have hope. Even if she doesn't, hope is going to get you a lot further than just accepting defeat. And so with that being said, it was a crazy coincidence because this devotional is kind of talking about like hope and just having really strong faith even when it's harder. So when I heard that yesterday, and she had like 3 different things pop up where like people told her the exact same thing. So I just know that it's God working in her life, telling her to have faith and have hope. And last night I texted her something about like what we talked about on the prayer Zoom, and I was like, I don't think this is a coincidence. I think this is God, because she just talked about someone getting healed from cancer. I needed to let you know that you need to start manifesting. And I told someone that has nothing to do with this business to start manifesting. And I manifested over her mom this morning, and just, I don't know what's going to come from it, but I just have really strong hope and faith, and I used to not be this way. So anyways, that's a big spiel behind it. So if y'all could pray for, her name's Deborah, but if you could just pray for that family. But I feel in my heart, either something good is going to happen as far as like her life will be prolonged, instead of just having a few months. And if they take this seriously, I feel like something good is going to come out of it. So it's cool to see other people be able to start believing, even if they're not in this business, because I love making an impact outside of this business too. So anyways, if you're going through something like that, I really highly recommend you do something like that. But anyways, this one is talking about trees and faith and the rootingness of faith and hope. And it says, a tree with strong roots laughs at storms. So it says, when I think of being rooted in faith, like many, I think of the tangible definition of being rooted in. When someone talks about having strong roots, they are often referencing massive trees and plants, redwoods and oak trees with roots as thick as your forearm that tie the tree down to the earth, forbidding it from moving. But I think about the palm tree. You've heard of people talk about the palm tree's resilience and its ability to bend to conform to the ways of the wind. Whereas large and powerful oak trees will break, the palm trees sways back and forth, flexing but not fracturing. The palm tree survives. But it isn't just its ability to bend that keeps a palm tree from falling. What is not often talked about are the roots of the palm tree. Unlike the oak tree, whose roots are so thick that they tear apart the earth around it, palm trees have really thin roots. They stay within like an inch, or not an inch, but they stay within like a foot apart, and these roots are everywhere. They're gripping the earth firmly, and they're bountiful. And it says that while oak trees rely on their size to weather the storm, palm trees work in cooperation, knowing that the number of their roots outweigh the strength of the wind. They bend, they flex, they grip, and they survive. Being rooted in faith is not about appearing to be the strongest on the outside, but being rooted in faith requires resiliency. It requires that you dig your feet in and you push through even when the storms become overbearing. Faith is the hardest part. Faith isn't for the faint of heart. The Bible says that you must have faith, but it does not say that doing so is easy. Your roots are often feel thin, and the wind may show no signs of letting up. Whether you're new to faith or you grew up in a church, does not matter. Faith is difficult for all to possess. If it were easy, everyone would be faithful, but life isn't about surviving the easy times. It's about remaining planted during the hard times. So if any of you, or if you know of anybody who is going through a storm and they're like, I don't know if I can take it one more day. I don't know if I can take it one more day. I want you to reference this tree. I actually was reading a book, Think Like a Monk, the other day for my personal development, and he was talking about being a tree. And I think I told y'all on this, or maybe it was another Zoom, but I think it was on the prayer Zoom, where I said that like trees are really interesting because the more wind and the more oxygen and like the more like pushback that they have, the stronger they get. It's not like they like if they were to never go through an ounce of wind in their life, you wouldn't see trees standing up. Trees would literally fall over. They have to have wind in order to support them because they have to constantly go stronger and stronger and deeper in their roots. And so you can use that to like reference anybody who's struggling with their faith to let them know that like it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So again, like I'm going to kind of break that burden off of you right now, or that lie, thinking that if you instantly go into faith and you instantly start believing that life is going to be this miracle. But I do believe it's another like feeling when you do start having faith, and maybe you're so weak on your faith right now because you're like, the devil is attacking me, this person just did this person just did this in my life, this just happened in my life, I just lost this business, I just lost this job, or someone hurt me. It could be so many different scenarios, but you have to remember that trees do not form when nothing is happening. And you have to remember that there is a purpose for every single season that you're going through, even if you can't feel it. And I know it's way easier said than done, because there are some times where I'm going through something and I'm like, I don't think I can bear it. I do not think that I can hold this a lot longer, God. And I tell you all the time, so I'll say it again. Last year when I went through the 3-month depression spill, I literally asked God every single day to bring me out of it. And he didn't bring me out of it for 3 months. And while I'm still trying to figure out some type of purpose in that, I see the miracles happening now from it a little bit, but there still are questions that I'm like, I'm terrified to go back to that place. I don't want to do that again, you know? And when you go through the storm, it gets easier the next time. And Amber talked about this last night, and I'll speak about it on here because for those of you who aren't on there, she was saying, if you find yourself going through the same storm that you've already been through before, you have to ask yourself, what is something that you learned last time that can get you quicker out of it this time? And also, what there's a purpose for you going back into the storm. Maybe you didn't learn your lesson last time. I know for me, for instance, and I'll use this business as an example because I feel like I can use it just for anything. This business, every single rank that I've ever gotten to, I've lost. Okay. And looking back at it now, I look back and I'm like, in every rank that I've lost like multiple times. It's not like I just lost it for like 1 month and gained it back. No, that's not my journey. It's fine because I've still been able to be financially free and do the things that I want. So it wasn't like I was ever irresponsible with my money. It was genuinely just because I was selfish in a lot of ways. And so when I went diamond, I probably lost and went diamond again like 3 different times. And during those seasons, I kept asking God, I was like, why are you doing this to me? And he was like basically telling me, now that I look back at it, but when I was in it, I was like, God, what are you doing? But now that I look back, he was just like, you didn't learn your lesson the first time. You were selfish the first time. The second time, you're still selfish. So I got to take it away a third time to let you see it is not about you. And then when I promoted to double, bam, went double, made the highest paycheck I had ever made. Then I lost it. I was like, God, what are you doing? Why do you keep doing this to me? He's like, sis, you didn't use your money properly. You didn't tithe. You just instantly used it for your selfish gain. So he took it away. And then I had to work on it, still working on it. Still, I had to be obedient during that time. It took me about a year, and then I gained it back, and I hadn't lost it since. And then went triple, okay? And then triple diamond, I was responsible with my money. I was responsible with things, but this time, there had to be a lot of shifts in people on my team. People walked away, which was a blessing that they walked away. And now that I look back at it, and I gained triple back, and guess what? I lost it again last month, okay? Okay, like it's okay. It's not the end of the freaking world. I'm not freaking out. But now that I lost it, I'm asking myself, what can I learn in this season? Like what can I learn as of now? What is the season trying to teach me? What is God trying to teach me? And I truly think one of the reasons is that I have to really, and I told y'all this, I had a breakthrough last week and the week before. I have to put my faith and my happiness in him and not how my business is going or not what my paycheck is. And so often I'm like, God, give me more money, give me more money. And even though I'm responsible with my money, it's like I rely on money to bring me that happiness because I'm money driven. Okay. So, and then I look back and I'm like, okay, so now I'm in this heart shift. And am I mad that I lost triple? No. Am I upset? No, I'm a little disappointed, but it's not like, God, you're torturing me. No, because I know I'll gain it back. And I know when I gain it back again, my heart will be pure, my heart will be different, my intentions will be different, and I'll keep it. And then what will happen when I keep it? I'll receive the things that I'm asking for in abundance and overflow. And then that's when I know that I will have more and more breakthroughs. So every single time you go back to something that you once went through and you're like, not this again, chances are there's just something that you're trying to learn and that God's trying to teach you in that moment. And it might be something completely different from last time. So maybe you did learn your lesson and you're like, okay, I felt like I gained something from that. You always gain something when you go through a storm, but maybe it wasn't the specific thing that God needed you to change. I know for me, like I said with Diamond, I thought I learned it and I was like, okay. Then I lost it again. I was like, what the freak? And then the third time I was like, oh, okay, gotcha. And now have I ever lost Diamond since then? No. Have I lost double since then? No. Okay. So and now I know that triple is going to be the exact same thing. Triple, I really feel like I can gain it back this month, honestly. So I just know that like every storm has a season or a reason for it. And if you feel like, I know someone said in the prayer chat, they feel like they're being attacked by the devil. I know from personal experience, and I actually read a devotional the other day where it said sometimes when you are going through something, you always hear people saying that's your breakthrough, and sometimes it doesn't have to be. So I don't want you to expect just this miracle breakthrough to happen, but I think during that time that you just have to ask yourself again, what is the reason and what is the lie, and separate the truth from the lie. So if it's the devil trying to attack you saying you're not good enough, you're not worthy, the fact that you believe that you can actually make money from this is a joke. The fact that you believe that you can actually empower people and make a difference, that's a freaking joke. Yeah, no, that's a lie. Okay, you have to separate the lie from the truth, and that's where winning the war in your mind, I really highly recommend you guys get if you are having that battle. It separates the truth from lies, and I did that, and I uncovered some things that I never realized that I had an issue with. Like I never realized that every single time something good was happening, I self-sabotaged myself because I genuinely deep down believed that I wasn't worthy of something good. Even though I claimed that I was, I didn't feel it. Like in my heart, I was just like, who are you to think that you can do this? Your whole family struggles. Why would you do this? All your friends are broke. All your friends do this. The people you hang out with do this. Like your whole town is broke. Like why would you sit here and like think that you could make this amount of money and then brag about it? And then it's like, I thought I was doing good. I thought I was giving people hope. And then the devil's like, no, you're bragging about it. And I'm like, no, I'm not, and so it's just funny how the devil lies to you, but I would definitely recommend you sitting down, taking time to journal and separate the truths from the lies. And I promise you it might take some time, but you're going to do some undigging and then you're going to be like, oh, you know what? Okay. God promises me that he's never going to fill a void. And guess what? He's not going to fill a void when you start breaking down these lies. It might be like the devil's trying to attack you again, but when you again build that faith over and over and over again, and it's like the tree again. So like when the wind keeps hitting you, you're growing stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And then when you look back from a year from now and you go through the same exact thing, you can get through it a lot quicker. I can tell y'all from experience, sometimes I face burnout in this business, which I heard a book, again, the monk book the other day. It was saying that overachievers often have like these qualities, and then it said but the negative qualities is that they face burnout. They like will kill themselves to death, like just working and achieving things. And that's me. Like I feel like I will overwork because I actually love what I do. Like I wake up excited, you guys, for most part. There are some days that I don't wake up excited. I'm human, but for the most part, I'm like, I'm pumped. Like I genuinely like the work that I do. And so it often allows me to go into overdrive. And I'm like, all right, work with this person, reply to this person, do this. And I just can do it all day and I don't realize it. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I kind of feel drained. And so last year I faced a really big burnout, and I felt like I was like it was when we promoted to triple. It was kind of during my depression stage. So I would say that it kind of lasted for 3 months, and I've never had a burnout last that long. And I was like, so I've got to learn something. So then I learned balance of time. And then in February of this year, I faced burnout again. And I was like, nope, learned my lesson last time. I need to figure something out. And it lasted for a week and a half compared to 3 months. And then guess what? I faced burnout last month. Okay. And I learned my lesson, and it only happened for a week. Okay. So the more that I go through it, the less time it takes. And I promise you, and it's like that with a lot of things in life, the more that you go through it, the less time it takes, and you can figure out your holes and like what works for you and like how to get out of it. And then you can help other people through it. So when people face burnout on my team, I'm like, sis, do this, do this, do this, do this, take time for yourself, do this. It's easier for me to say now because I've went through it. And that's why we often go through things too, because it's not about like ourselves in this life. Even if you're brand new and you're like, I've been in this business just to make money for myself, totally get it. That's how I was. But you'll kind of learn and grow as you progress in the business, that it's not necessarily about you anymore. But it's about helping others and serving others. And it just feels good when you can do that. So hopefully this helps. I know that was kind of a rant, but I'm going to stop this recording.